Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are tackling a room that is long awaited. I have been sharing hints of it for like 7 months now, basically for our daughter's entire life. She's almost 8 months old, so it's probably good that we finished her nursery finally. But this is part 1 of 2 for her nursery makeover. If you're new to my channel, we just bought this 1960s fixer-upper about a year ago. We have painted everything and done all of like the pretty like basic cosmetic fixes, and now we're starting to go room by room and like gut it and tear it out and replace it with everything new. Before we got this room done, we had just finished building a brand new bathroom in between this bedroom and then another bedroom. We cut out the closets in these rooms, cut into the floor space a few feet on each side, and actually spent a 6-video series building a whole new bathroom where there previously wasn't one. So I will link that here if you want to catch up on all of those videos too. But this room was our next focus once we tied up the bathroom. We have a lot of work to do in here. We wanted to take out all of the old wiring, rewire it. We had to do a bunch of patching for drywall and replace like entire walls. We had to move the doors around, insulation needed to be added, and mudding, taping drywall, all of the not fun stuff that goes into a room makeover when you're like really gutting it in a house like this. Next video in the series will be all of the fun pretty stuff: paint, refinishing dressers, molding, crown molding, decor, rugs, like all of that stuff is coming out next week. So make sure you're subscribed for like the finale of this little series, but today's video is all about the hard work that went into it. You'll see a lot of my husband. He is the one who makes all of my dreams come true. When I have a vision for a space, I tell him what I want and he gets it done. He's the one doing all of the heavy lifting, all of the electrical, like he is everything in these videos. So they're gonna feature him a lot. And I think we're starting in this video by tearing out all of the like leftover drywall bits. We had done a lot of demo in this space to build out that bathroom. Like I mentioned, we cut a few feet into this bedroom. It was already pretty small to begin with, so it wasn't like a huge loss to lose. I think it was like 2 more feet we cut into this room, but that left a lot of like dirt, drywall partially finished. So we're just cleaning up all of that and then also removing the drywall that's along the bottom like third of the room, because we are going to be pulling out all of the wiring in here and rewiring it. So while we're doing demo, we're pulling all of that out too. Now, you are welcome. I'm cutting the video here. Very early on into this project, we had a not so fun surprise of Christian opening up the drywall here and finding a family of dead mice. Multiple dead mice in our walls. Super sad. We had actually found some like tracks or some proof of mice elsewhere in the house. These guys were long gone from this earth. But I guess they must have been like in the attic or something, or in the ceiling, and fell through down into this wall. It's actually like kind of really sad if you think about it, but we had to address the family of dead mice that were in the wall. I'm not gonna lie and pretend that I understand a lot about the electrical situation in the house or the wiring of it. Christian is managing all of that. And we also have had a consultation on the electrical in the house. And my general understanding of it is that we do not need to rewire the entire house, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm pretty sure all of the wiring is original, but they've added some extra safety measures since then, like grounding and stuff, that it's a little bit better. But it's still like, it would be fine if we left it, but because we're already messing with all the drywall in here, we're just gonna replace it all. But Christian is gonna take out all of the old wiring and we're gonna completely do it, start fresh, start new, start clean. We're doing a lot of outlets in this space. We're not trying to like design this house thinking of a future seller, but we're also trying to not like forget about one, because this room is not going to have a closet built into it and it's a smaller one. It kind of makes sense as an office if you have a smaller family or an older couple or a younger couple without kids. Like, it's a nice space for an office. And I feel like lots of outlets make sense in an office. So Christian's going to be putting in lots of them in this room. He's going to be rewiring for our like light fixture and all of that stuff. But we're basically just starting fresh on the wiring in this room, and it feels really good to know that like everything inside of our walls is refreshed and new. All the exterior walls in the house have insulation, which is great, and they're in awesome shape, so we're not replacing that insulation. But the insulation that we are adding in this video is to help soundproof this room. We're having our baby girl sleep in here, and this door is right next to a bathroom, it's right next to a hallway, it's right next to our front door. So any extra insulation we can put in these walls to help soundproof it is a plus in our book. Now, obviously, Christian's the one doing all the work in this video, but I do get some shining moments when he needs my help to hang some ceiling drywall. If you've never done this with your spouse, I don't recommend it. It is one of my least favorite things to do with him, but it's one of the things he cannot do alone. For some reason, it also really freaks out our toddler when she sees us hanging this, so if I had the audio on for these clips, you would hear her like yelling for me to stop for whatever reason. She just does not like me helping with the ceiling drywall. You guys might remember from the bathroom build that we had some contractors coming out to help with like framing the doors and the new walls and things, and lo and behold, they did it incorrectly. They made our door frames like 1/4 of an inch too short, so that was not going to work. So Christian ended up having to reframe these door frames. Even though we paid somebody else to do the work, Christian ended up having to undo it and redo it. Then Christian went in to remove the old square light fixture in here and then recenter it. Because we cut into the space with the bathroom build, the light fixture was no longer centered in the room, and so Christian's moving the like point that we're going to be installing a light fixture at to actually be the true center of the space, and then he's going to go in later to patch it with drywall and like make it look seamless again. drywall finally in the room, we can get to mudding and taping and sanding and that really long process. It's my least favorite thing to like have happening in the house. It's so messy, it seems so tedious. It's just, there's mud and tape everywhere. The toddlers can't go in there because like the tape is, like the mud is wet and they could get messy. It's just, it's my personal least favorite part and I don't even have to do it. I'm sure Christian hates it, but mudding and taping, we're getting to the finish line in this space. It's starting to look like an actual room, and I think I forgot to film or like lost the footage of Christian installing the door, so you'll see at some point in here we'll suddenly magically have a door in this space too. After a few coats of the drywall mud, Christian is going in with his pole sander. He said that this has completely changed the game on sanding drywall for him. I think most of the time you just use like a sanding block with your hand, but he says the pole sander makes it go so much faster and so much easier and is his favorite little tool to have for drywall. Now Christian in this clip had sent me up into this room. He had watched the girls downstairs so I could go and paint or prime the ceiling in here, and I totally jacked up our timeline. Like we were trying to get this video done, get this room done, and he's like, just go prime it, we're gonna paint it later, here's your moment to get this up. And I'm like, I walk in there, I'm like, oh, the air vent, let me just take that down. I want to replace it, it's old and dingy. And when I took it down, I ripped out a big chunk of drywall, which meant I had to go get spackle. It needed to dry for another couple hours, get sanded again. Like the whole process just gets so drawn out by these little tiny setbacks. Christian was not happy when I went downstairs and was like, hey, I ripped a hole in the ceiling now, after he had just spent days like patching, mudding, sanding, all of that stuff. So these little setbacks definitely like put these projects back and delay them for so long. Like I know like watching these videos, it's probably easy to be like, just get it done. Just spend like a week focused on this and you can just knock all of this stuff out. But like these tiny little setbacks with the mix of toddlers and childcare in it really throw things off for us. Mopping the floors once all the dust had settled though is my favorite part of this video. One, because I could walk in this room and actually feel clean and have dust stuck to every little crevice of my feet and my hands and in my hair. Like it just gets everywhere when there's drywall dust. But it also meant that it was time to start priming and painting, and Christian kind of handing the baton over to me. We had finished all of the electrical, all of the drywall, and now it's time to get painting. So I'm heading up to the ceiling. I'm gonna start priming that now that I finally like patched and cleaned up my spot on the air vent. And you guys are gonna have to come back next week to see part 2 of this video where I get into all of the fun paint. I will give you a little hint if you're not following on Instagram and don't know what this room looks like. It's very, very, very pink. Tastefully pink, but very pink. So primer's going on first, and then we're getting into all of the fun decor in next week's video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching, you've enjoyed the process, coming along for the journey, and I will see you guys next time for part 2. Bye.